safety commitment. So I wear safety glasses in the workplace. Today's topic is about hand safety cuts. Pretty much cuts can be a safety issue in the workplace. 30% of all workplace injuries involve hand cuts, occasions. I looked up a little bit. The U.S. labor states that all cuts and hands cuts result in 110,000 lost time causes in the workforce. That's a lot. So I've got a personal experience. About 5 years ago, I was working South. I don't know if you know what that's. It's called DS Smith. It's kind of like Georgia Pacific. It was about in a ship, and the strapper that straps the corrugated material pretty much messed it up. So I had to unstrap it and fix it. So the problem is we got these new, which I don't have, the new safety plates. The ones that flip up and lets it, and it goes right back down. Well, the problem was, I was already frustrated, so that was one problem that I had. The next problem was when I went to cut it, I did make sure my hand was away from it at that point. But the problem is after I cut the strap, the blade got caught. And so I went down, I didn't pay attention, and I slashed my hand. So as you can tell, I got a scar. I had to go to urgent care, and I had to get about 4 stitches. And so the next day I come in, so I had to go say thing. What could I have done to prevent that? Well, one, I should wear gloves. When cutting stuff, I always try to wear gloves. 2, I should have took my time. I should have paid attention to what I was doing after I cut the strap. And so, I mean, it was a big mess. I mean, I probably lost about a pint or 2 blood. I mean, it was almost, I cut it so deep, I almost cut it to the bone. That's how bad it was. And so, I should have took about 10 or 15 seconds, stop and think what I was doing, and say, hey, is this safe? Is it not safe? I didn't do that. So, till then, I had no other safety. I never, paper cuts and all that, but I'm not having no major safety cuts because I always think before I do something. So that's my personal experience. Anybody got any questions?
My name is Cameron Castlebaum. My personal safety commitment is to always wear PPE. When I worked at PPG, I actually cut myself too. Well, I actually stabbed myself. I was cutting a zip tie off with one of the same knives that you use, like the retractable knives. And I went up to cut the zip tie, and it slipped off, and I stabbed myself between my thumb, the webbing between my hand. And it was the same thing. I lost a lot of blood then. It didn't even hurt then because I guess I was in shock, but it was scary. I even had cut-resistant gloves on, but they weren't stab-resistant. So I ended up having to go to the hospital, get stitches, getting a tetanus shot, and all that. So, and I remember at that time we were short-staffed on third shift, and I had to be on light duty because I couldn't lift more than 20 pounds with my stitches. So, like you said, cuts do definitely hamper, time at work and stuff like that. So it's always important. Knife safety is one of the most important things. Always cut away from yourself, and if you can, you make sure your knife use is reduced. Anytime you don't have to use a knife, or anytime, you don't have to use a knife, make sure you don't, kind of deal.
My name is David Horton. My personal safety commitment is to always wear my safety glasses in the plant, even in places I feel I don't need them. I don't really have a personal experience for this one, but I know a lot of people at my work that have gotten cut, even with the safety knife that retracts automatically. It's caused by not cutting away from yourself, or maybe they're in a rush trying to get stuff done. But yeah, I've seen a lot of hand injuries, cuts all over the place because of stuff like that.
Yep.
All right. Our safety slogan is "Be safe." Being safe is in your own hands. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Being safe is in your own hands. Do it.
Self-reflection. I think this time I've done better looking around. I've got a little better at talking. I need to get work on that, the words and how I prepare and all that. But overall, I think I did an okay job.
I think you did really well. Last time I could tell you were really nervous because I could see your hands were shaking, but this time you didn't seem as nervous.
My name things that I know my personal safety commitment is to do the proper stretch for the proper job. I think you did well. You did better eye contact. I think at the beginning you were looking a lot at your paper, and your hat was making a shadow, so it's kind of hard to see you at the eye. So I think next time just remove your hat.